Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil mursaleen Sayyidina wa Nabiyyina wa Maulana Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Our respected guest, Professor Tariq Ramadan, chairperson of our proceedings, ulama who are present, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, and good evening. I must say that listening to Professor Ramadan speak, I was reminded of a story that I tell a lot to convince people that we've got to change. And it's a story about a man who on a very dark night walks down the road, and under a street lamp he sees another man crouching and obviously searching for something. He offers to help the man, and having learned that the man had lost his keys to his car, they scour that area for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then he says, "Listen man, we've scoured this area, we've not found your keys. Are you sure you lost it here?" And the man replies, "Yes, no, I don't think I lost it here, but this is the only place where the light is shining." And I think that what you are challenging us to do is really to look for our keys where we lost it. It's really not to be comforted by where the light shines, by the places that tradition and orthodoxy have historically illuminated. The challenges we face are not necessarily challenges in the same detail that were faced before us. The Quran remains universal, and like Tariq Ramadan, I do not believe that the Quran is an anachronism in today's world. There are some scholars that I have encountered in Britain, in many of these debates that we have, who regard the starting point of their debate of the Quran as an anachronism, something that has no answers for the challenge that we face today, and something that needs to be subverted in our interpretation thereof in order to make sense of the world and to remain relevant as Muslims. I think that part of moving out of the lit up areas may well be to move out of the areas lit up by the science of tafsir historically. That we may have to illuminate new areas of interpretation rather than regard the Quran as an anachronism in our quest to make sense of the world that we're in today. I think that one of the key starting points that you have made is that globalization has thrown up enormous new challenges. It integrates markets, it integrates capital, it integrates technology, and it integrates people simply by virtue of their mobility. But at the same time, it finds it almost unable to integrate the cultures of people, the religions of people. It integrates the bodies of people for what it's useful for those societies, particularly to the host nation. It wants to accept their labor. It wants to accept their spending power. But it doesn't want to integrate the whole of the people that come into the new host countries. And so, the other victim of globalization is not only people who are born in the West now, who settle in the West, who've lived almost all their lives in the West. The other problem of globalization, certainty, not only amongst Muslims, but amongst almost all religions, amongst almost all cultures, amongst almost all traditional communities. And I think that often when we appropriate for ourselves the sole victimhood of globalization, We are unable to create solidarities with others who are marginalized by globalization. We are unable to make common cause with other religious communities who also fight for their relevance. We are unable to integrate with other cultural communities which face points of decimation with this global onslaught. And so I think that part of what we need to do is to liberate ourselves from this victimhood syndrome in order to stake our claim in the world where we are, to contest the space that we need to contest, and to make common cause and solidarity with others who to lesser or more extent face the kind of dangers and the kind of challenges that we face.